I have a voice, and damn it, I'm going to use it. Last year, I said to myself that by the end of 2017, I'll have spoken at my first high school. I made it my mission to help remove the stigma that surrounds mental health and make normal a conversation that continues to be taboo. 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. My friends didn't know, my family didn't know, and my teachers had no clue. Nobody knew because I felt like a burden to my friends and my family that I experienced self-harm, substance abuse, and thoughts of suicide. Now, I know that was a mistake. And last year, when I look back at that time with crystal clarity, I said to myself that nobody should suffer in silence, that it was time for me to speak up. Inspired, I began. And like so many of you in this room, fighting for what I believed in meant creating content, building my skills as a speaker, and developing a network of mentors that could point me in the right direction. Holy shit! The ball started rolling. They say I might be getting the hang of it. But how many of you can remember a time in your life in pursuit of your goals where you hit a brick wall and everything came tumbling down? After only a few short months of progress, I developed severe pain in my throat. It got so bad I was in the emergency room with a tube up my nose and down my throat. I sat there, crying. I was devastated. I felt defeated and wondered if I was going down the right path. I asked myself all the questions that we ask ourselves when hit with obstacles. Is this even worth it? Am I making a difference? Hell, should I just shave my head and become some silent monk somewhere? I felt like just when I found my calling, my voice abandoned me. I learned the hard way that sometimes the only way to reignite the flame of your inspiration is to be reminded of why you started. That same December, I visited my girlfriend in Guelph in the middle of her exams. She tells me that one of our students committed suicide this week. I later found out that that was the fourth student that killed themselves, and that those families would never see their children again. We'll never know if one conversation could have prevented those tragedies. But I do know that no matter how bad the pain is in my throat right now, it'll never compare to the torture and the hardship that those families experienced. That day, becoming an advocate for youth suffering with mental illness went from being a should to a must. That day, I made the decision to finish my goal, and I did. And I have to say, I'll never forget the smiles and the sharing and those students that laughed at all my corny jokes. Despite the pain, I no longer have a choice. That day in Guelph, I found my voice. My question to you all is, have you found yours? Speaker Slam, hands up and keep them up if you have a voice. Look around. Buddha said that I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters and create many ripples. When I see all your hands, I'm reminded of why I joined this community in the first place. I know that no one person can change the world, but I'm convinced that it's going to be because of the leaders in this room who use their voice to cast their own stones. And it'll be our collective ripples that change the world. Thank you.